Good morning. My name is Anders Moberg. I work as a lecturer at the Department of Physical Geography, and I'm also coordinator of the Bolin Center database. And I will now present this database together with my colleague Rezwan, standing there. Sorry, he works at the Department of Geological Sciences. So, what is the Bolin Center database? Well, it is a data repository where scientists at the Bolin Center can store, make available, and visualize data from their various projects. It is, as you can see, available at our website. You can, of course, search in the database by using the search field, or you can browse data by clicking on one of the four main categories: atmosphere, marine, terrestrial, and lacustrine. Some datasets are presented more extensively than others, and we call those thematic data presentations. You can also share your data here. So why should you do that? It's known that research publications where the underlying datasets are openly available can get considerably more citations than publications where the data are not available. And by making your data available, you can make your research more visible. If other scientists can use your data, some of them are likely to contact you for collaboration, and you will thus expand your network. And with more citations and a larger network, you will improve your grant funding opportunities. In fact, many grant funding bodies, like the European Commission, require that you make your data available. But we know that many scientists tend to think that making data available for public repositories is boring and time-consuming, perhaps unnecessary, but we are happy to help you with this work. In fact, not only funding bodies, but also many journals nowadays require that you make your data available. Sorry, my voice is not the best shape today. Otherwise, they won't publish your paper. Some journals recommend that you put your data in a particular repository, and you should, of course, choose the one that suits you best. But you're always welcome to share your data through our database, and even if you choose to put your data somewhere else, we are happy to include metadata about these data in our database, and thus make them even more easily findable. We have today about 100 datasets in our catalog of metadata. However, the real number of data is much larger, and it includes more than 20,000 individual data files. It sounds much, but it is nevertheless far from all data from the Bolin Center. So let's make it clear, we want more data from all of you. FAIR is like a trendy concept in these days. It means that data should be findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. FAIR is a set of guiding principles for scientific data management and stewardship. And most public data repositories today strive at following these principles, and so do we. The FAIR data principles are also a component in a global movement towards open science. This is a concept that includes open access to research publications and open data. These aspects are already included in the European Commission's working principles, and they will be included in new national guidelines for Sweden and also in a new policy for data management here at Stockholm University. Actually, as a governmental organization, our university is responsible to store, make available, and preserve research data that is produced here. So, welcome and contribute with your data. It's easy. Just start filling in our data entry form on the website. We will then contact you, and together with you, we will make sure that your data and metadata are in good shape for being shown to others. You can start already now. During the coffee break, we have a help desk just outside this room. We are happy to answer your questions there. And if you share your data already today, you will get one of these nice hoodies as a reward. But first, I will ask Rezwan to show you the database live on the web. So please, Rezwan, come on.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Rez, and I work at the Department for Geological Sciences, and I will try to just briefly show how the database looked like and how it works. And this is live, and this is we'll see if it works through internet, if it's connected to this computer. Let's see. Okay, there is a mouse. Okay, let's see. This is a pointer. Do you see the pointer here on the screen? Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's start from the beginning. This is a blank web page tab, and I will try to write in a web address here. I write in bolin.su.sc. Okay, this is the address to the Bolin Center website. Okay, let's see if we go there. Okay, so this is the front page of Bolin Center, and here there is a link to the database, and also up here in the menu. I click here, let's see. If I come to the Bolin Center database, and as Anders just mentioned, we have two parts here. The top part here is the data catalog, and here you can browse data through 4 categories. It's atmosphere, marine, terrestrial, and lacustrine. And you can also search data in this search field. And then we also have what we call thematic data, and that's data presentations that are tailored for specific data types. And if you're interested in that, we're happy to help you to put more of these here. So let's, and then there's also a list of the latest data sets in the database. So let's try to search for some data. Any suggestions what to search for? If you're awake still? No suggestions. Okay. Well, then methane. Okay. Methane. Okay, let's see what we have. We have 2 data sets of methane here in the database. And this is a list of the data sets here. And then we have on the side, there is a map showing where the data sets are located. So the first data set is in north of Sweden, in Stordalen. And the second one is in the Arctic Ocean. Let's try this one. And here's just this is what we call the landing page for the database, for the data set. And there is a title, there is a summary, and there's a download button, and there's a citation, and some other basic information. And then there is some additional metadata in the right column. And also description of the file, how to use the data, and also you can export this metadata information in various formats. But most important here is this download link and also the citation to the article. And you can also click on the link to go to the article where you can read the full paper, I guess, if you have access to that paper, like this. Okay, so let's go back and see. Can try something else, carbon, for instance. And then we can, for instance, we just take one here. It looks like the same setup, just another map with the site in northern India. So it's very simple. And I will also show some of these thematic data sets. Let's try, for instance, the Sverige site. It's a collection of data from Sverige's expedition in the Arctic Ocean. And here are different categories of different data types. For instance, sediment cores. And here are different sites where sediment cores are collected. And you can see those sites on the map on the right side. And you can also see a graph with the data presented for the different sites, where In this case, it's magnetic susceptibility, bulk density, and P-wave velocity. I'm not very into these data, but those who are understand what it is. I hope. Another example is Sarah Cousins, who have made a study of historical land cover data. And here you can see a comparison of land use over the century, the last century. And this is a region in, let's see here, I can show where we are. This is Sweden. And if you go down here, you go into middle part around, it's called Södertörn, and here you see this is two similar maps, one for 1901 and one from 2012. And here we can see the difference of land use. For instance, here in 1901, this was, let's take this one instead. This is a wet meadow, but today it's forest. So that's the difference. And you can also see on the satellite map below how it looks today. So that's how the landscape have changed over the last century. And just the last example here, it's bathymetric data collected with the icebreaker Odin for different expeditions. For instance, we take an Antarctic expedition from 2010. And this shows bathymetric data from different research areas. And you can see an overview in this map. And you see where we are, for instance, here. And we can try to zoom out here a little bit and go into this area, which is called Pine Island Bay. And here you can see the bathymetry and also the geological features. I have been told that these are so-called iceberg scours, and the interesting part here is I'm not a geologist. I'm just I just have been told that this is called mega scale glacial lineations, and you can also see very interesting features here called corrugation ripples or ridges, corrugation ridges, which are due to the tide that the iceberg has been just buoyant, so it barely have contact to the bottom and the sediment. So when the tide is going up, then it loses contact and then it goes down in the sediment and creates these waves. So you can actually measure the time of the velocity even of the iceberg movements. So this is just a brief example of what can be done in the database. And let me just show an example of how it will look. And we are soon changing the appearance, and it will look more like this, more modern look, where you have the search bar in the middle. So.
Okay, thank you, Rezwan. Is there any quick question now which is of interest to everyone, perhaps? Then we can take it here. I think Anders first here.
This presentation, a nice database. I just wonder, for the browse data, are all data sets connected with a publication, or are there just also pure data sets?
I would say that most of them are connected to publications, some to several publications, and a few are not connected to any publication yet, but they might be later on, and then we just add it. Liang?
Very nice effort. I think the value would be increased also if you continue for some time. And I think this is such a very good platform to encourage more cooperation. But it takes time to do that. That's a comment and question. I have a question. That is, how does this link to the EC?
Ah, that's an interesting question. Okay, we have certain things to discuss. At the moment, there is no direct connection between the two databases. Some of the data that are in ECDS are also here, actually. But in the future, there should definitely be more collaboration and also more coherent metadata structure, etc. So we should continue to discuss this later on. Thank you for commenting that. Erland.
In the same vein, could I ask about the the Copernicus climate change database? Is there any link with that one as well?
Well, at the moment, we have no links to other databases or repositories, except then in some of the cases, the data in our database are not stored here, but they are stored somewhere else. For example, on the NOAA servers or at Dryad or Pangea, and then there is, of course, a clickable link to that place. But I am personally happy to expand our activities so that we are better connected to the rest of the world and that people could start using this database as a place. You go there and then you find lots of other things. So we should work on that. But we are just 2 persons and we are not even 100%. We are like less than 100%. And you can imagine that we have more than 200 working tasks in the priority list. Somewhere we have to start. We try as much as we can. We need more money. Thank you.
Before I let you go out into the coffee break, I have 3 quick announcements. The first one concerns the database. Rezwan and Anders have said that it is easy, and I can say they make it easy. It is not easy, okay, but they make it easy for you. I can say that from my own experience. So really, take the chance and upload your data together with their help. They are enormously patient. They help you with everything. They make it easy, okay? So use that. And thanks for it. And you get a hoodie, yes. The second announcement is that people who go to AGU, if you are interested in that we cover your registration fee for the Bolin Center, talk to the people outside and to Annika. The only thing you need to do is you need to be at our booth for 2 hours and we cover your registration fee. And then please be back in time at 10:30 it is for the ESAC session. Some of the ESAC members have travel constraints, so we need to be on time, so please be back. And now you can go and grab coffee and fika. Thank you.